Luke chapter 2, verses 14 through 20, World English Bible. Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit into Galilee, and news about him spread throughout all the surrounding area. He taught in their synagogues, being glorified by all. He came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. He entered, as it was his custom, into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and stood up to read. The book of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. He opened the book and found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim release to the captives, recovering of sight to the blind, to deliver those who are crushed, and to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord." He closed the book, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of all in the synagogue were fastened on him. He began to tell them, "Today this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." Leviticus 25, 8 through 10, World English Bible. You shall count off 7 Sabbaths of years, 7 times 7 years, and there shall be to you the days of 7 Sabbaths of years, even 49 years. Then you shall sound the loud trumpet on the 10th day of the 7th month. On the day of atonement you shall sound the trumpet throughout all your land. You shall make the 50th year holy, and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee to you, and each of you shall return to his property, and each of you shall return to his family. When did the Exodus happen? It happened 40 years before the coming into the Promised Land. Coming into the Promised Land was a jubilee year. It has been proven by Gerard Getoux that Yeshua was born in 2 B.C.E. So what does that mean? It means that Yeshua was 30 in 29 CE, before the Passover of 30 CE. That is when Yeshua spoke at Luke 4 in the synagogue and proclaimed a jubilee year, or the acceptable year. Consequently, all CE jubilee years end in 29 or 79. The next one is 2029. And all BCE jubilee years end in 20 or 70. Now we can see that coming into the Promised Land was a BCE year ending in 20 or 70. So how can we find the correct one when Israel came into the Promised Land? One way is to use an estimate of when Jericho was attacked by Joshua. Carbon-14 dating of charcoal at Jericho gives results between 1400 and 1500 BCE. This implies the year was either 1420 or 1470 BCE. If Israel came into the Promised Land in 1420 BCE, the Exodus was 40 years earlier in 1460 BCE. But if they came into the Promised Land in 1470 BC, the Exodus was 1510 BCE. Looking at the 18th dynasty pharaohs, we see those with Moses in their names, such as Ka Moses, Tooth Moses, and Moses. And so these types support 1510 BCE. But for 1470 BC, we see a female ruler claimed 1479 to 1458 BCE. I think the best choice is then 1510 BCE. I also note the Watchtower has estimated 1513 BCE. That supports 1510 BCE. Also, based upon my Bethlehem Star Theory, an event like the Ten Commandments would be marked by a conjunction of Venus and Jupiter. On Savan 6 in 1510 BC, so I looked with Stellarium, the astronomy program, and it was there, right on the button. I conclude the Exodus was then 1510 BCE. Exactly. And the Watchtower's very close estimate is commended. Then also the Bethlehem Star Theory is probably correct because more events were found marked as well, such as the birth of Moses. Thank you.